We're reading 1001 Nights on 1001 Mornings. Why did we reverse it? It's actually Arabian Nights, night 350. Morning now dawned, and Shahrazad broke off from what she had been allowed to say. Then, when it was 350th night, we told Alexa that she had to read this to us, but she didn't do it.
It seems she reads into the morning.
She doesn't do what she's told. I have heard, O fortunate king, that Abu Lasam al-Ziyadi said, I fetched the tradesmen and paid off my debts, after which I spent the money lavishly. Boy, oh boy, he's in trouble, telling myself that if the man were to return, God would provide me with some way out of the difficulty. A day later, however, my servant came back to tell me your Khorasanian friend is at the door. I gave him leave to enter, and when he did, he told me I had meant to go on the pilgrimage. But I then heard that my father had died, and I made up my mind to go home. So give me back the money that I left with you yesterday. No one has ever been as worried as I was when I heard this. I was so taken aback that I could not make no remark. If I denied that he had given me the money, he made me swear to this. I would be disgraced in the next world, while if I told him that I had spent it, he would raise an outcry and expose me. So I said, God bless you, this house of mine is not a strong enough place in which to keep so much money. When I took your bag, I sent it off to the man who has it with him now. So come back tomorrow to fetch it if God Almighty wills. The Khorassanian went off, and as for me, I spent the night in a state of confusion. Because of his return, I could not sleep or close my eyes. I got up and told my servant to saddle my mule. But he said, it's still dark and the night is only just starting. I went back to bed, but as I still couldn't sleep, I kept on waking up my servant, and he kept on refusing to get up until dawn broke.
It seems he leaves everybody loose.
I couldn't get you up.
Not your servant.
No one gets up. I can't get anybody up.
The servant's supposed to.
He then saddled the mule for me, and I rode off with no notion of where I was going. I let the reins lie on the mule's shoulders, and while I was preoccupied with my cares and anxieties, it went on eastwards from Baghdad. On my route, I caught sight of a group of people and turned out of their way to avoid them. But when they saw that I was wearing a Tawasan, Tailasan, they quickly followed me and then asked me, do you know the house of Abu Hassan al-Ziyadi? When I told them that I was Abu Hassan, they told me that the Caliph wanted to see me. I went with them, and when I came into the presence of Al-Mamun, he asked me who I was. I told him that I was one of the companions of the Qadi, Abu Yusuf, a fakir, and a student of the traditions of the Prophet. What is your name? He asked. I told him that I was Abu Lasam al-Ziyadi. Tell me your story, he ordered, and when I explained to him what had happened to me, he burst into tears and said, damn you, it was because of you that the Prophet of God, may God bless him and give him peace, kept me awake all last night. I had fallen asleep at the start of the night, but I heard him say, help Abu Hassan al-Asyadi. And I woke up. I did not know who you were, so I fell asleep again. Again, he came to me and said, "Damn you, help Abu Hassan al-Yadi. As I did not know you, I fell asleep once more, but again the Prophet came and repeated what he had said. After that, I did not dare to sleep, and I had to spend the rest of the night awake. I roused my people and sent them out in every direction to look for you. Al-Mamun then presented me with 10,000 dinars, telling me that these were for the Khorasanian. And then he gave me another 10,000 to use for my purposes and to set my affairs in order. Finally, he gave me 30,000 with which to equip myself, and he told me to come to him the next day. That he rode out in a state procession when he would give me an official appointment. I left taking the money with me and went back home. That's very,
How nicely everything works out.
it's amazing how that worked out. I took him into the house and brought out a bag of money. When I had performed the morning, I left taking the money. When I had performed the morning prayer, the Khorassanian arrived. I took him into the house and brought out a bag of money, telling him that it was his. He said, "This is not the money I left with you." "That is right," I said. And when he asked the reason for this, I told him the story. He burst into tears and said, "By God, had you told me the truth to start with, I would not have asked you to return my deposit. Now I swear I shall accept none of it." Goodness, very strange. Good, I learned the morale of this in my subconscious mind. My subconscious understands it. Do you understand it?
Subconscious answer his own. Because there is his own.
I thought the guy was going to cut off his head, if anything. Seems it turned out okay.
It's like, it sounds like the astral level or the superior level where everything works out.
We were reading from the positivistic stories of from the positive nights, and just the positive worked out nights of the Arabian Nights, Arabian positive nights, not the ones that they cut off their heads. The pleasant stories. This is the pleasant stories of the Arabian Nights, night 350.